Hi, I'm Roy Robertson. This is Good Business San Diego. This morning, we welcome back Jim Bottrell. He's a former U.S. Marine and the founder of the Jim Bottrell Real Estate Team with eXp Realty. You can reach Jim at 1-833-600-SOLD, and jimhasthebuyers.com. Jim, we talk all the time about what's going on in the market, and interest rates, et cetera, for consumers. Today, let's talk about people in the industry professionals, and what's been impacting them in the last couple of months.
Yeah, well, I've got two words. I've got challenge and carnage.
Not good.
The problem is there's about half as many houses that have been selling. And actually, in the real estate industry, everybody depends on what we call the churn, which is the exchanging of a property from one person to another. And it doesn't really matter so much if prices go up on the average or go down on the average, but they just have to exchange hands. And since interest rates went up, only about half of them, this is last July, only about half of many houses have been selling as we've been used to. The interest rates going up has caused two things. It's one, caused reluctance of buyers to buy, and it's caused reluctance of sellers to give up the super low interest rate they've had. So the result has been a massive decline in the number of homes sold, which is really bad for anybody in the real estate industry, which is a massive industry, because it's kind of unsustainable, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it has been such a tough time. You use a tough word too, unsustainable, but you're not suggesting the entire industry is going to tank based upon what's happened recently, right?
Yeah, half of it will, actually.
I think so, yeah, okay.
Only the strong are going to survive this. We've already lost about 25% of the agents in the industry, and honestly, I'm expecting another 25% to leave before the end of the year. We've already seen some brokerages and some teams collapse. And in fact, one of Southern California's biggest and best teams has already failed. It's gone. It's collapsed. And there are several others that are on the brink of failure right now, too. So
did anybody see this slowdown coming? And was this, for both the agents and for the teams, in some way preventable?
Entirely, yes. I've been on KUSI for a year and a half now, and I've been talking about inflation is going to cause interest rates to go up. Interest rates going up are going to cause buyers and sellers to be resistant to buy and sell, that the number of houses are going to be cut in half that we sell, and that half the industry is going to go away. I've been saying that for a year and a half, and here we are.
So you talk about this kind of attrition, but for the agents and the teams that have survived, what's propped them up? What have they done differently?
Well, I just spoke at a conference about this, actually. First, teams and agents are going to survive, honestly, because they didn't blow all their money when they were making money hand over fist in 2019 through 21. That's probably the key thing, is they thought that market was going to continue forever, so they were blowing their money faster than they were making it, which is a terrible idea. Second, the teams that survive will do so because they've accumulated a substantial cash reserve, so they can continue to operate in the red if necessary, so they can retain their necessary critical staff, and they don't have to cut marketing and lead generation systems. Third, the teams that will survive will do so because, honestly, the team leader was smart and developed probably 15 plus good lead generation sources. Too many of those teams out there have allowed themselves to fall in the easy trap of relying on one, two, or maybe three lead sources only. And they're worse if they don't control that lead source. Like, for example, Zillow Flex. The broker doesn't, or the team leader doesn't control that, because Zillow Flex can throttle you back or just turn you off. Now, a team like that only has a couple lead sources, you lose one of those lead sources, you lose the team. And lastly, teams will survive because they have a previous accumulation of a massive database of buyers. They can tap into, buyers and sellers. They can tap into when lead gen is low, kind of like it is now. And honestly speaking, only those teams that have all of those things I just mentioned, they're going to survive the carnage next 12 to 18 months. The rest have already failed. They just don't know about it yet.
Really interesting times. If you are an industry professional, by the way, you can contact Jim and talk to him about all the circumstances that he's just outlined here. 833-600-SOLD is the number, 833-600-SOLD, or you can reach him at jimhasthebuyers.com.